Okay, guys, we're going to talk about forcep injuries. This is Francois Blaudeau, MD, JD, lawyer, doctor from Birmingham, Alabama, part of the Law MD team. And I'm a specialist in obstetrics and gynecology, delivered over 9,000 babies, and been a lawyer for 23 years and tried a lot of cases involving birth injuries. And I'm here today to talk to you about forcep injuries. Well, what are forceps? Forceps are kind of these metal spoons that doctors sometimes use to help deliver a baby when the baby is kind of stuck in the birth canal or the mother's too tired to push the baby out. And forceps, when applied correctly, work pretty well, and they're relatively safe to use. But if forceps are applied incorrectly, they can cause significant injury to a baby. And usually that injury is either a skull fracture or a pressure on the brain that causes bleeding internally, like a subdural hematoma or subchorionic hematoma. And so general trauma to the brain. And forceps are applied on the baby's head. Usually they come in on the sides of the baby's head and they kind of grab the baby's head. And so ideally the forceps are on both sides of the head, and the doctor is able to move and pull the baby's head out that way. But if the doctor puts the forceps over the face and tries to pull, the doctor can cause injuries to the orbit, injuries to the nose, to the face. And if the doctor puts too much rotational pull on the baby's head, the shearing can cause bleeding inside the brain. If the doctor puts too much stress on the forceps, then the doctor can cause a skull fracture. Issues relating to forcep injuries tend to be more neurological, and sometimes they require intervention. So if there's a brain bleed, if it's a significant one, sometimes you've got to relieve the pressure. Sometimes you've got to take the pressure off the brain to help with that. If you believe your baby has been injured by forceps, and you've been told that there's been a brain injury related to a baby that was born where forceps were used, it may be that the forceps caused the brain injury. For those kind of cases, you should consider getting the records and sending them to us and letting us look and see whether or not we think the injury was related to the forcep application, and whether the forcep application was correctly done, whether it was indicated, and whether or not we believe a breach of the standard of care occurred. So again, if you've had a baby that's been injured by forceps, had some type of brain injury or skull injury related to forcep application, please feel free to reach out to us. Let us look at the records. Let us help you figure out whether or not the standard of care was followed. Thank you.